So here we go. Here we go. Welcome to Fresh Wilds, the reincarnation. Because I've taught flower classes for forever. I've done so many different types of flowers in so many different ways. I have painted them on paper and canvas. I painted them on my face with face painting way back in the day, to having them tattooed all over my arm for very meaningful reasons. So, kindred, I know we're all here with the love of flowers, and I am excited. I don't even know, did I plan this right in March? Like, is it the beginning of spring? Are we going to be evoking? Is this time to seed and bloom? Yes, it is. So we're going to start with just a little introduction because we have 4 weeks together. So just a little maybe where you are, so we feel connected over Zoom. And then if you'd like to say what you're excited about in the class or what you're looking forward to as a little note for me to make sure that I focus on the things that you want, that would be great. I know everyone here, so I'm going to just start by saying that my expectation of this class is to really get more comfortable with the complexity of expressionism and allowing that to happen and embracing it and really loving the marks that we make. That's what I hope for all of us. And so I'll pass this on to Christine to do a little intro.
Hey.
Sorry for maybe share the flower that you've chosen for today.
For today?
Yeah.
Well, I have this beautiful bee balm.
Wow.
And what is that?
It's a bee balm.
Bergamot.
Bee balm? Like BALM balm?
No, BEE.
As in BEE balm. You can sometimes see them in purple, but this is bright red. And I have a big patch of them in the yard, and they're crazy.
Cool. I'm gonna have to look that up. Oh, that's exciting. That was gorgeous.
I named it right, I think. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. You're right. My question is B, so B like the bzz, but
yes, like the buzzing bee.
Balm like
BALM.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
Oh, not like hey, you're the bomb.
Yeah.
It fits. It fits. You're the bomb.
Wonderful. And what are you looking for today, at least?
I'm looking to have fun, to not be so precious with flowers. Kim Lee Coe, when I first started taking classes, she would say that flowers are very much like life drawing. That they're the edges and the movement and she recommended, we were doing life drawing classes at that time, to go and draw flowers.
Like sit in the garden and do portraits.
Just do flowers and do, contour lines and whatever.
Love Kim for that.
Yeah.
And portraits are actually, that was kind of one of my notes for this whole focus, is that like looking at a flower like a portrait.
So that's kind of fun.
Cool.
To be some precious, to give myself permission to play with it more.
Yes. Check.
Check. I figure you're the woman for that.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, I can deliver on that. Thank you, Christine. Laura, what flower did you pick today?
I'm still between the two, the sunflower and the daisy. And I like this one better, but it's just plain white. So I thought about the sunflower too, that my sister-in-law sent me from her garden.
They're both perfect, aren't they? They're just so perfect.
And I don't know, I'm just really bad when I do the flowers. I try to be so precise. So look like you're exactly the same way. And I want to learn some more freedom to express them without having to be such a perfectionist.
Yes.
So, yeah. We always get that out of you. You always teach us new ways. So I'm really looking forward to it.
I feel like, you can come to me for like a
Of
little
course.
abstracting reality.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. That's why I'm so excited.
I have some ideas on how to choose between the two. We'll get there, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. And then Brenda, I'm gonna ask if you want to do a little intro, share your flower. You're still on mute though, but I can do a little ask there.
Sparkling with, okay.
You bit me lost.
So I'm Brenda, I live in Port Hope, and this is a lily.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
I used to have a whole collection of lilies, but they all, got that bead thing, so I don't have them anymore, but I have, so that's what I'm gonna do.
That's a gorgeous color.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I love my lilies.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
That's pretty.
yeah, lilies are, I'm watching a series again. It's a really old one, 6 Feet Under. And if anyone's had ever seen that, it was so good. Like dark, dark, dark humor, right? But lilies, the way that they talk about them, and it's like part of the intro, is just, anyway, it's been on my mind. I love lilies. And I think that, yeah, we're going to talk about, like, I want you to individually think about why you chose that photo and that memory of that you grew them. And I don't know if the loss will come into things, but just that story, that because it's important that you chose this photo, we'll also get into more of that, is really bringing in your story, your thoughts about the very flower that you're painting. And it's going to be it's integral. It is very important to the whole process. Yes. Okay. So wonderful, lilies. And Carol, what flower did you choose? And
I'm struggling with which flower. I mean, I took pictures of my own garden when we were in Picton, and I've got an iris here. The color of my printer didn't come through very well, so it's fairly muted. That's an iris. And Christine. Wow.
Yes.
Balm or bergamot and sweet peas.
Lovely.
And then I have more bergamot and some.
I love the smell.
There's daisies in there. There's poppies in there.
Mm-hmm.
These are all pictures from my own garden.
Lovely.
And then here's one that I also love. I've got a couple of others, but this is actually a rose. It's one of those roses that is closer to a wild rose.
Yeah.
When it opened up, I mean, the whole center thing was beautiful. But
I would choose that one for today.
This one here?
The rose.
Okay.
Yeah.
To try.
So today's project, which we're going to get into action, because I'd like to start out however you know best. And I'm not here to teach you how to render realistically, but I am going to demonstrate along the way. So if you're curious as to how I approach realism, but the idea here is more of a large, like close-up flower portrait. Okay. So the bee balm and then the bergamot that Carol, when you showed those to me really go for other projects that I have in mind. Okay. So you can do all of them. You don't have to choose, but today I think the wild rose, and just having that like one flower to focus on, because I'm going to give us time suggestions of, let's put half an hour into rendering the flower realistically. What that's going to do is get us really thinking about all the things we know, right? Form, there's whatever the lighting is. I'll show here, this is what I've chosen for today. I'm really excited to do these guys. These were
Ooh,
the
zinnias.
zinnias that they was what I'd have to check back on the date, but it was like we got a frost, and so all that white is frost.
Awesome.
And
oh, beauty.
I'm going to reference both of them and make them into one. So I like the center here, and I like the wiggliness of some of these petals, but I also like the shape of some of these. So they're both the same burrito flower. I'm going to like merge. So hopefully that's inspiring for also future things of when you're choosing your flower references that you can put together. Yeah. Combinations of photos. So yeah, I'm going to suggest that we do a realistic approach. I've pulled out watercolor today and colored pencils and pastel pencils, ink. I have kind of everything at my fingertips. Whatever you, is there anyone who had any questions about materials? Because this is sort of like an open concept class. You can kind of choose. But if you need help, I'm here. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're good. You're good. Then we're going to, okay, so after like thinking about placement and rendering something realistically, at least get the building blocks for it, then we're going to look at the synectics of how to fragment and take all of the elements that we're going to make note of as we do the realistic approach, and we're allowing that part of our brain, that perfectionism that we're trying to run away from, we're embracing it. We're saying, you're coming with me. I'm not rejecting you. I don't, want you out of my life. I love you. I love that you know what to do, and that you bring that sort of you can touch it and smell it, and you allow the memory to be visible, right? Because we're not just doing abstraction, but to abstract reality, how do we take pieces of it and then let it float in the atmosphere in and around so that they become sort of part of the same story and dream? So as you might want to make notes, I'm going to set up here to screenshot. I'm going to do a spotlight on my table. And as I'm rendering this zinnia, I might make little notes off to the side about color or the value or the details here and there, little aspects that I'm either interested in or that I'm using to help develop the realism. And those are the components that at some point will
blow it up.
Yeah, it'll be like, I want you to imagine, like, close your eyes for a minute, just imagine your flower, and then where you might have done a stroke to make a petal, that same stroke is now beyond in a different color, or maybe the same color, where it's just like a petal floating in the wind ever so delicately, just outside of that flower's atmosphere. And yet we're going to repeat and create so many different little confetti elements that it all works together instead of feeling so separate and fragmented. But the idea here is to take the flower and let it fragment like a flower bomb.
I'm liking it.
We can change the world with this whole class.
Yeah,
only we could broadcast to every screen out there. These are the kind of bombs we want. So I have set out some watercolor paper. I'm really excited about some of the other projects, which I will share with you, get some feedback before we go today. But to get into it, this is a fairly large piece of paper. I think I'm only going to do like half of it though. And I'm just going to see what happens. So I'm going to grab my favorite brush. You're totally welcome to just start with brushes. make a little adjustment here so that I'm not reaching over quite so much. So, a couple of suggestions just about, think about placement. I'm right-handed. I think doing like sort of a half, 3/4 at the edge here, and then allowing the bloom to, you can't see the other side of this paper because it's so big, but just to start here is my thought. I'm not necessarily going to sketch it in myself, but you're totally, totally welcome to. Even if it's just like to get your brain in action, like a quick blind contour so that you have somewhat of an idea where to start. Or how far off the page you would like to go. Using this also as a warm-up. Get my hand and eyes and arms working together. Getting familiar with the flower. You chose it, you printed it, you're excited to paint it, but have you really looked at all of the little petals and aspects of it? So this is just getting familiar. Yeah, I think that's a good spacing. So if I just show you that I have, if I want, I can always cut this paper. This is, I think, 11 by 14-ish. Not sure. What does it say? I think these blocks are in centimeters, which I'm not very good with coding. It feels 11 by 14-ish. I'm pushing variegated line personally because I've always found that allows me to get a more realistic edge. I've very much in the same comment that Christine was suggesting, like, going to life drawing and doing like a contour. Well, contour is that you're really observing the edge, but you're looking at the nuance of that edge. And to be able to get like a thin to thick line feels appropriate for me. But there's definitely more than one way to do that. So as you go about this, you're planning as you go. So I'm with whatever, I put out my watercolors. And so I'm going to explore sort of which color combos that these two colors kind of give me at least something that I like. So you're still taking inspiration from reality. Going and knowing there's going to be more layers. So just sort of developing a base. What do you love about this flower? Why did you choose it? I chose the frost for no, and then also thinking like I'm going to have to bring out some acrylics or whatever to get that frost or glitter. But I also love the variation in these petals, the pink and yellow. So just simply blocking in. So I'm going to make a little note here that one of the things that I'm enjoying staring at this beautiful zinnia is the temperature differences. So I'm just going to make a little note. The warmth. And I'm going to make a little color swatch. And that'll be the beginning of me thinking about breaking down the elements that make up this flower. So in a way, instead of waiting to the very end, as you go, I think is a better approach. As you think of things, as you notice things. Ooh, double loading of the brush. Oh, I haven't done that in eons. Wow. So I was going to recommend definitely like whatever your medium you've chosen is to just get something as a base down so that you can continue to build. Poor Toshi. He really loves the cats, but none of the cats like him. I feel so bad for him because, like, I just heard Posey give this, territorial growl. or how cats do that, like when they whine. And Toshi just picked himself up and moved himself to the other side of the room. So sweetheart, so sad. So even I was just thinking, like, even if your printer gave you weird colors, I would still try and allow for just the beginning part is to use the color that you're seeing so that you're thinking about color mixing, color matching, just kind of like giving into the technical. Can always go from memory and change things up as you go. But like this is a totally different temperature of green that I would generally choose. And that's like actually cool. I'm like, okay, going with the blue green. Mm. Who's already straying from reality? Is it just happening naturally? I'm personally continuously telling myself, you know, do what you see, just to nurture that status and get satisfied. I'd like for this to dry a little bit. I'm going to bring a hair dryer. That's okay. Okay. As you're building your layers, we all have experience with, you want realism, it's all about the layers, right? When something, if and when happens that you didn't mean, or you are like, that's too dark or that's not right, I suggest you take that same situation. So I'm going to use this as an example. This area here is way too dark. In my reference photo, it's dark. I'm trying to get like the petals in behind, but I chose black. Ooh, too much, too heavy. So instead of trying to cover that up, which actually I can't really, I'm going to take that mistake and I'm going to repeat it out here into this universe and allow that mistake to stare me right in the face, embracing it. It's that whole idea of like repeating something or making like incorporating a mistake into so that it's not anymore. But this is actually a bit more of a design approach. And then I'll choose a different color and continue on. So here I've got these like black floaties that mirror something that I was going to change, but instead of changing, I'm going to bring it on in. Take a lesson from that and change up my colors. I should have used a brown instead of a black. And these are suggestions about like the whole idea of synectics. I have this wonderful book and I have studied this thing to now the pages are falling out. Which, don't you love that? Love and hate, right? When a book has been read so much that the pages are falling out. But I have this wonderful book and it talks about how like creativity, like this whole idea of synectic thinking, that it's nurtured by the co-action of both sides of your brain, like your left brain and your right brain. So you're using rational intelligence to nail down the intuitive, dreamy perceptions of the right side of your brain. And so you're taking like objective perceptions and tangible constructions and mashing them together. And I just think that's so exciting. So in that, if you have any suggestions as you're creating and you're like, hey, this is an idea of how to bloom out, please just contribute and speak to the group.
Okay, what does the word synectrics mean?
Synectic?
What's the word?
Synectic.
To
synectic, or like the definition of synectic is like it's like juxtapositions or contradictions.
Okay.
The meeting of two things that don't belong. Here, oh wait, Casey, because I'm not the best at like doing the whole dictionary thesaurus thing. Synectic is a Greek word which means bringing forth together or bringing different things into unified connection.
Unified connection.
Isn't that beautiful?
Oh.
Yum, 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 yum. There's some wonderful quotes here from, you might recognize the name, like Rollo May. I think he wrote a wonderful book. I have it. It's been a while since I've looked at it. I believe it's something about the fear of art, like the fear of creating or like nurturing your creativity despite the fear. So he says the first thing we notice in a creative act is that it is an encounter. Like you have to be in action. You can't just sit around and think about it. It has to be an encounter between you and something else. Max Ernst, creativity is the marvelous capacity to grasp mutually distinct realities and draw a spark from their juxtaposition. Creative behavior occurs in the process of becoming aware of problems, deficiencies, gaps in knowledge, missing elements, disharmonies, bringing together in new relationships available information, identifying the missing elements, searching for solutions, making guesses, and forming hypotheses. That is Paul Torrance. So this book, this is actually, like, for what it's worth, I got this way back at Curry's from the educational department. I don't know if, I think you can, I mean, of course you can buy it. There's design synectics, there's other books that were written in the same sort of family. Art synectics is another one, but this one, it's a project book. It's like for university, and like professors. And so I've over the years done so many projects out of here. Some are be like not of interest to me, and then that's where I got that one project from. Like taking a line for a walk. You know, that's one of a project I haven't done in a while, but where you just start with a line and you continue. And this book kind of gives you studio actions, concepts, and then the synectic trigger mechanisms, which is a mouthful to say, but truly all it is that you're trying to use kind of keywords or prompts to change the result. So today's synectic trigger word is fragmentation. It's to take what you're creating, take the elements of what you're adding to make it become, and then allow them to also be individualized and seen sort of off to the side so that they're not just creating the whole. Let me see the individual components that have allowed you to create this beautiful flower portrait. Ooh, I forgot I ordered. Oh, I'm so excited. I gotta go get it. I ordered oil pastels, you know, because I haven't bought any new art materials in a while. And then you get into this like withdrawal. And because I am a bit of a brand, like, you know, while I care about brands and quality, I bought these because I had always wanted a certain color palette of oil pastels that I don't have. I mean, I use these in a mixed media way, right? But Montmartre, or I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but it's an Australian brand. And when I first started seeing this name, I wasn't sure, you know, what the quality was. But actually, since last year and trying out some of their acrylic paint, and I actually used some oil pastels of this brand from someone else recently, and I thought, okay, you know what? I'm going to splurge. So what is this? This set was 120 colors for $55.
Oh.
Like, come on, right? That's such a good deal. So, like this is not going to be on sommelier's quality level, but that's okay. And I love the neutrals in here. There's some wonderful, colorful grays and neutrals. So, I didn't want like a set of 12. Nobody needs 120 oil pastel, but I had to have it to create my own set. So I'm going to have those a little handy once this dries. And instead of getting out acrylics, I think I'll do the frosty bits with the oil pastel. That would make a lot of sense. At any point while you're creating this, if you need to, or it's like a green light for you to start getting a little more loose, it's happening to me already. Okay. Then, lean into it. But I will say, there's been so many times in my life we're coming to do something realistic just to keep those skills polished is important, because it's wonderful to like find yourself in expressionism and allow yourself to make experimental marks and do things that you normally wouldn't do, because that's why we're here on this planet, is to continuously explore and seek. But I have to say that at least the way that I like to still capture reality. So just because I want it to be expressive, but I still want it to be like seen as a flower. I don't think I'll ever be an abstract artist. I still like animals and flowers and trees and things that need to be identified. That it has truly been really important to me to be like, okay, so how do I then keep those, techniques that have allowed me to achieve something that resembled what I was happy with, or getting close, and being able to then merge the two has brought that happiness that I was always looking for. But then every once in a while, I feel like I get too messy if I don't make an effort to do something that has like the realistic dimension and elements to it. Maybe take a moment and add some color, or say you're going to change your brush, like take that brush and make a couple of brush strokes into your explosion area. Just as in line, if when I was suggesting like if something didn't go, like a choice was like, oops. If you all like a thing, please repeat it. Like I made this like little wiggly squiggly line for the center of the zinnia, and I'm like, okay, so now I've added them everywhere, and it sort of looks like a spring has just broken in the cutest way. I love it. Just kind of framing it, putting that color around, all inspired by the brushstroke. Okay, so we're at 11, and I just thought we'd do a little quick check-in, get some feedback from each other. This is totally volunteer. Does anyone want to share their piece? And be just holding it up to your screen. I'll do a little zoom in, do a little close. For the zinnias. But just doing a midway check-in, don't want to ruin the flow if you're in. Oh, Christine. Oh,
sorry.
No, it's it's okay, Brenda. I didn't quite see you. Okay.
There we go.
Yes. Well, you captured it. The color, the such a really beautiful, chaotic plant, isn't it?
Yeah. It was kind of fitting for this morning.
Yes. Wonderful. And I love the little dance. Like it's almost like they're dancing. And so this is reminding me of like the photo that Carol showed where it's like, okay, here's a garden of it. It's almost like you can create a garden with just one flower by just repeating certain elements and like focusing it on one, and then it feels like there's a whole bunch of them. Like that to me is what you've captured, is that it's this whole garden feel with all relating to that one portrait. Right. This is looking great. I think you could go a little more red kind of in a round.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other ideas or things you like or want to see more of out of Christine's bee balm?
It's just not rolling out of your mouth. It's just not. Is
it supposed to be balm? Bee
balm. Yes.
Bee balm.
It has what do you call it? Natural good stuff. They use it in holistic medicine.
That's why I asked if it was the balm. Yeah.
Okay, some more red.
Well, yeah, I would love to, like, oh, I couldn't see the bottom part of it. Hold it up a bit higher. Yeah. Like what you have just in that lower bottom part.
Yeah.
I think you could have more of that just to allow the red to almost take over.
A little stronger.
Yeah. Let this be, because the red is really a huge aspect of it, right? Love the contour lines. I think, again, you could, at this point, like, do a whole aura of more contour lines that kind of repeat, because those look really great. Yeah. It helped to create that essence of the leaves and the petals. So now you can, like, in and around, like, your flower to me looks great. So just now bloom out, let it explode.
Okay.
And this is where you start having fun now, right? Okay. Laura. Oh, you chose the sunflower. Beautiful. Yeah, so you're gonna have to bring out, let those dots escape, like all the patterning in the center that you've built up. Lovely. Yep. Now they're gonna find their way into the atmosphere.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think focusing on like just letting that center, and then
blending
the leaves as well, right? In and around, you could do kind of like a repeat of the petals into the leaves.
The colors with the
and
orange?
The shape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good. Thank you.
And Brenda, you're using watercolors today? Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I use some of the intense pencils.
Gotta love those. Beautiful rendering of the lily, like the center and the color. I love the color of this flower. It's gorgeous.
That pink is the beam paint because I couldn't get that color pink with my normal, but I was able to get it with the beam paints.
Nice. Like, what was it? Quin magenta? Do you remember what it was? Because I also have some really nice beam pinks. They do a good job. I have like a rose one and a quin magenta.
I can't read it.
No, Brenda, not for reading it, but
reading the color. I was trying
your color.
Yeah, that's the color. Well, you can't see.
I think I might. Is it gouache, that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of them are gouache and some of them are watercolor.
Yeah, I think I have that color, the same one. It's like a rose. Something.
Yeah, it was called landscape palette.
Yeah. Perfect. That's wonderful. Okay, that stamen, all that wonderful stuff in the center, to have that just keep repeating out and beyond, and you don't want it to be of the same contrast necessarily, because that is your focus, that's your center. Right. But to have, like, because those pollen coated, are they the stamen, or is there another name for the
I think stamen is right, but that's where the pollen is and it stains everything.
Yeah, the dustiest. Yeah. So let that dust almost, be flying around it.
Okay.
So that repeating that, and maybe even coming in with the Inktense pencils, Brenda, and allowing the space in behind to be filled with, like, whatever kind of mark making that just creates an environment, like a reverberation, or like the petals are moving and you can see the tracing lines of them moving. I think the Inktense pencils would really help with that, and just repeating some of the petal shapes in and around the background without taking away from the flower. That's kind of what we're going for here, is like to still have the flower be, but then to create the environment really inspired by all the elements. I think it's beautiful. Nice composition as well, like with the original photo that you took too. And Carol, do you want to share, babe?
Sure. Because I just got the Mylar paper and I've been experimenting like crazy with it this week. Ooh. I thought, well, I'll start with that, but then I moved on to watercolor paper. Okay. So I don't know if you can see. No, you can't really see that.
Mylar, great choice.
Well, no, you still can't see it. But anyways, it was fun. It was, I don't know. Can you see that? Not really, right? That's too difficult too.
I can kind of see it. I think that
well, there's the stamens all in the middle, and then there was the other colors. But so I thought, okay, it's taking too long to dry, so I went to just watercolor paper, and I just started that. So that's where I am at this point.
Beautiful.
I guess you can't.
So in a way, look at what you've done, Carol. Look at what you've done. You have, in some, way, you've taken the project idea of having all of the elements around the flower, and you've created them on a Mylar overlay. So yes, you gave it a totally different page.
Well, I couldn't resist because I finally had that Mylar paper that actually things stay on it and don't get repelled like the other stuff I had. And then I thought, well, maybe I better go to real paper, right?
Excellent. Well, so
I'm going to work on both.
Carol, Mylar doesn't like watercolor so much.
No, it doesn't at all.
So it's great you're exploring all the things the paper doesn't do.
But it's actually on there now. It's actually sticking. So,
well, it will for a bit, and then it'll crack off. And I have experience with that. Yeah.
Well, then I'll go back into it with something else afterwards.
Yeah.
And
Acrylic
then I might do something with them together.
I love that.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Fabulous. Very exciting that like Mylar is forever and there's different kinds of Mylar, and I will probably, once I get some samples, I'm still waiting to hear back from graphics. I've sent another company a message. It's a Canadian company that sells more like rolls and bulk.
Okay.
It's expensive though, like because it's this bulk pack.
Yeah.
And say 11 by 17, which is a size I had been enjoying. I don't want to go too big, but I don't want I want something bigger than the 9 by 12. But like the investment would be like $300 to buy like 100 pack. And I don't mind investing in paper, but I sent them a message. I can't remember the name of the company. It's sort of more of an industrial. It's not an art place. And I asked them if they would give me a sample, because I don't want to buy 100 sheets. And so I'm waiting for them to either say, hey, you can return it, or yes, we'll give you a sample. Because there's different types of these films now, and I feel like I'm out of date. Loving it, but also I need to know what we have available. But anyway, yeah, that pad that you have is fabulous for this kind of thing, and acrylic for sure. And pastel, so you break out the pastels too. I'm gonna get my oil pastels happening. Let's do that.
Okay.
So I really do want to capture frost. As you're working, allow this, focus of, rendering this flower, also include bridging into the environmental space and how to bridge that. So is that bringing in another wash? Like you might already, like Lar, for example, you had all that green there established. So how are you going to kind of like bring in a pattern and over top of that? I'm using a green to like merge all of the little scribbles off to the side of mine. So there's different solutions. And if you're not sure at any point, just ask. But it's maybe just about exploring and saying, like, hey, how can I incorporate this and make the idea? Yeah. Make the idea a reality. And that more than likely will include repeating elements so that they look intentional. I have such a hard time with darks and watercolor. Oh my gosh. And especially with pans. Like, I mean, I should have not should have. No, I have chosen, but I just want to bring in charcoal so desperately. Make it like intense. Yeah, these are great for plein air, but I'm not just I just get my regular palette out.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Let's do this. Ooh. My first notes was warmth, so I want to bring back some warmth. This is definitely not in line with the photo and what I'm doing, but that's okay. I've done enough work. I can just work with what is. Bringing some burnt sienna in makes me happy, so that's a win. Yeah, that is a yes. That is a yes. Ooh, love that one. Mm. I'm just turning it around, looking at it. A different angle. Ooh, that's a nice color. Oh my God, how did I make that? I like that. Ooh, all right. That's nice. Okay, I'm starting to like build up too many layers here, so I'm gonna do a couple more strokes and stop. We know better, right? This is a good color. Add it out here. Mhm. Walk away. Mhm.
It's beautiful, Sharlena. I've just been sitting here watching you do that. It's beautiful.
There's something really cool about a flower portrait, isn't there? Like instead of it having to be a whole garden or which I love as well, but I really love just like that whole Georgia O'Keeffe moment of Just look at one flower, like, and take the time. And don't fiddle with it. That's really where I'm feeling, though.
Yeah, that's why I left mine, because I was just fiddling
Good.
with no intention.
Yeah, that's, I mean, a good sign for play, like you're in that, place,
Yeah.
where maybe picking up another sheet of paper and doing something
Yeah.
new.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's stunning. It's just stunning.
and kind of interesting thing about, I just pulled out this Arches paper this morning, is to leave this. I actually don't mind that.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, perhaps a couple more. So this, I didn't intend. I come up with ideas that are based off of things I know I've done that work, but because this, even for myself, is like a new creation, I can't really say, with a different photo and different materials, how things are gonna pan out. And so, yeah, this space was not intended, and I quite like that. There's why I put on the material list, like you can use in this, for any of the projects that I propose, you can use whatever surface you want. But paper is nice because you can cut it down. Yeah, maybe just a couple of little splatters, like that's
Yeah.
it. You can have too many splatters, I have learned.
Yes.
We all have learned, I'm sure. I want to, while you're painting and, just getting to a point where I'll also talk about our project for next week, is I had brought out some things this morning. This is a soap thingy from the dollar store, and I didn't feel the need to grab them. I also didn't suggest, for what it's worth, to get out tools for today, but it is a thing. It is a thing that we're going to be focusing on next week, to either have tools at our disposal or make a tool. And actually, you guys have homework.
Good.
There's some times where I'll say it's optional, but actually for just to introduce into your life, like, I mean, a 2-hour class, I can only do so much. So to introduce like more distraction between now and next Saturday, you do have 2 bits of homework. Yeah, so we'll definitely get into, like, making marks. Just like where's my thoughts right now? I want to tie this into what next week will be. So let me do a little quick check. Out of what everyone wanted for the class, I'm just kind of guessing that what I wrote for the class you were into. And that's because that's all the notes I wrote down, was just like freedom, freedom of expression, and playfulness. So I can deliver on those. Oh, this is what I was looking for. Okay. So just as a little reminder that, because I do want to focus on finishing works in the class as much as possible. But then again, you can always continue to work or repeat if you like a thing. And whenever I say make a mark, repeat it, I mean that for projects too, right? Like if you like a project, that is what the project is there for you to either say, wow, I'm so glad I'm done that. Never want to do that again. Or, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I need to apply this. And you then put together the components of the project to customize it for yourself. So, I mean, I do that as well. I take projects that I've done or run into and I adapt them. And this sort of approach for flowers, I think everyone here has done a class with me where I've done the left-handed contours and the The bilateral drawings where you're drawing at the same time with both hands, and all these things are really great for getting us out of our comfort zone. But because I've done that approach so many different times, I know it works. I wanted to do something different. And interestingly enough, an article came my way a couple of weeks ago. So I'd already written a lesson plan, but then this article, and it is for a class at the Vancouver Art Institute. But listen, I mean, I'm only so good. I could not put this article together the way that this prof did. So I'm going to be sending it to you in a PDF format so you can read it. And the article is about Jim Dine, who I love. And Jim, for if you maybe know his work, he's mostly known for using unconventional tools that either he made or more like not even just tools that he made, but like actually being the subject of his work. And everyday sort of tools. He was a real guy's guy in that way, like hammers and tools that you would find in a woodworking shop or whatnot. But this article is actually about his flowers and his plants, because he did focus a lot on nature, organic stuff like that as well. And so we're going to take inspiration from that, and we're going to do a project that focuses on two things. Making a tool. You can make a tool. I'm going to actually show you a little video. Oh, yeah. I saved a little video to show you, to inspire you. You can make a tool, or you can choose a tool that's unconventional. Just something that you don't buy at an art store. It's up to you. If you like crafty making things, cool. If not, you can go to the dollar store and get something weird. But then we're also going to focus on removal, because another thing that Jim inspires us as a very experimental artist is his use of adding and then erasing back. So the medium, totally of your choice, should consist of something you can erase. I will, without any surprise to any of you, be using charcoal and soft pastel, which actually is Jim's wheelhouse as well. But you can use colored pencil. You can use anything that can be erased. You could use graphite for the whole thing if you want to stay kind of mostly clean. You want to use but dry, something that's dry. So soft pastel is a really easy, good one. And I'll give you a follow-up email with some ideas, just like a little list of things. So after you read the article, it's really just about Jim and his work and his observational approach, which is unique. I started looking at his work decades ago now, when I took a workshop about the figure. It was abstracting the figure. And I've since tried to get video, the same video that I watched. This is like 20 years ago, from the instructor, and they sent me a couple, and I'm like, oh, but it's not the right video. It's not the one. Anyway, it's okay. It's just that it really did change my life. So if you do come across or want to explore Jim Dine, he's very, very interesting. What changed me was the scale, and then also the use of tools. So charcoal drawings, he would just draw on a wall. Like galleries would just give up the space. And so they were ephemeral, right? They were temporary. The gallery show was he'd come in 2 weeks before, he would make the show. They would open, have, the show, and then they would paint the walls. And that's wild to me. Like that, at the time, especially, I was like, what? They allow people to do that? So, physically, I have zero desire to paint on a wall. But I love the idea of maybe going a bit bigger. So this is, again, you creating the components that will bring you joy. So I would suggest paper. It can be regular, like watercolor paper. You can gesso it if you kind of like that surface. Erasing on gesso. Gesso is a great ground for erasing. I would also love for you to have gesso available so that we can kind of play with, yes, dry media and gesso. Who's done that with me before?
Me.
Christine. Oh, Lauren, yeah. And Brenda, we did that in last summer's class. And Carol just does that naturally. I know, because I've seen it, I've witnessed it. So, and that is kind of where I'm at with this. So I'm going to give you a tapas of ideas, and then I will be witness to each other's choices and take inspiration from us as a group. Reference photos. I'm going to suggest something that is complex, and yet, so out of, say, the photos that you showed, Carol, the one that's like of the garden looking at a whole bunch of stuff, that would be really good, because then you have like a lot of different elements to work from. I might get a plant, like Kelsey, my roommate, does a lot of plant TLC. I'm not into plants, but they're all around me, and it'd be such kind of, in a way, such a shame for me to start looking for photos when I can have a plant in front of me. So it doesn't have to be a flower. It could certainly be a plant if you have like something that drapes, if you have something in front of you. If not, photos are fine. You can have a bunch of photos. You can have a selection so that you have, say, this one's for color inspiration. This one's because you like the size of the leaves or whatnot. I would say the more complex, the better, because the process of adding and subtracting will be inspired by losing ourselves in the jungle of a lot of elements. So this is kind of like what leads me to whenever I hear of someone wanting to reference a garden photo, and I'm like, ugh, because it's a lot of stuff. This approach will be really good for something like that, like how to focus on just a couple elements, how to make decisions while you go, how to allow yourself to add and subtract and delete with the intuitive aspect. So in that, I'm very, very happy to help plan via email ahead of time. I'm finding this works very well for the classes, depending on how you like to communicate. So that can be either text or email. You can send it, just kind of like how we did to set up for this class. Just say like, hey, what about these photos? You can attach them, or what about this idea? And then I'll have kind of an idea of what you want to do. We're all going to be like doing different works. So it's, we're advanced. Okay. This is not a beginner class. We kind of need to be this is process oriented, not project. Like, this isn't about product. This is about process. And, so let's just always kind of keep that in mind, is even if something fails, it's a success because we showed up and we are putting a mark to the page. That's really
doing it
every Saturday. Okay, let me see what you got. And also, I love seeing photos also after a Zoom class. Like, if you want to take a photo and email me, because the screen is not the same, guys. Like, it's okay for maybe individually, like while we're sharing, but I used to really push, like I'll do a little collage and I'll send it as the follow-up. So if you send me something by the end of today, tomorrow when the recording goes out, I can add that, and then you can see each other's work. Again, it's to be inspired by, to steal, take ideas, and feeling connected. So just do a little spotlight here. Carol, how's things with the...
Well, I'm not thrilled, but I'm still working away. So this is
beautiful composition, by the way.
that's right.
In the photo as well. Like, you chose a really nice photo, yeah. But the placement.
I just want to bring more highlight into that and then see where it goes.
Yeah.
Not crazy over it at the moment, but that's okay. Work in progress. The process.
Oh, you're focused on the overlay in one way, but also I think it'd be pretty cool to where anyone else who's like, I'm gonna paint this rose, would be looking at getting smooth petals and transitions. I would say coming in and having more of a disturbance.
Okay.
Because the center, like, so on a lighter value, or getting a little creative about how to let that kind of center explosion come out a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. And then I'm really curious about the overlay. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
Large, you want to get some feedback? Share where you're at? Yes. Love.
Is it better?
I love it. I love it. This is what I want to see. When I see a sunflower, I want to see it just like showering seeds. And I feel this is exactly like you captured it, right? This is not, you started out realistic and then you just like let it go. And that is, to me, exactly what I want from a sunflower. I love it.
Thank you.
And your sister, it was your sister who sent that, you said?
My sister-in-law.
Yeah. Sister-in-law. She is going to be like amazed. I know it. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You have that connection from
her
garden to your studio.
That's right.
Brenda, let's see what you've got. I know I can always do a little ask. There. Does that help? Oh, sorry, hon. Okay, here, I'll come back to you. Come back to you. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay. So I had cataract surgery and I'm in between glasses, so I'm really struggling here.
Oh my
eyesight. So anyway, so that's what the issue was. I couldn't see the mute button.
Yeah,
So
of course.
Slide Lily.
Beautiful.
That's terrible pictures because of the light. Yeah, the light is poor. Let's try this way.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
So maybe if I back up.
The color choices are exceptional. I absolutely love that you've chosen different brands and gone in and really nailed down that pink.
Yeah, it doesn't show very well on the screen, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
I would love to see that pink in and around.
In which?
In and around. So
okay.
You have like the depth of field, sort of like, you have the other flower.
Yeah.
That's in the background and it's subdued. And that's great, right? Like, so it feels like it's in the distance.
Right.
You have a scene. So if you now take some of the elements, and I'm going to definitely suggest that pink, and then definitely like you've brought in the little bits of brown here and there.
Right. Right.
But I would push that even more so
Okay.
that it's out of reality. Like this is to me, you're at this stage, you've rendered the flower, the lily, but now how do we take those little individual elements? So there's the pink,
Right.
there's also the violet.
Yeah.
And so you could do almost anything.
Yeah, just
Blooming
more.
from that flower. It could be just even little thumbprints or brush marks to let it sort of continuously bloom in over top of that other lily that's there. Because that's good, right? You have that, you've created the depth, but now let's create the surrealistic aspect of it. And within 5 minutes, I think just repeating some of the elements that you like, the color, and then some of those strong shapes.
Okay.
And I would do them just as strong in a way. Like,
okay.
The contrast is really beautiful. So you can push the contrast as well.
Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Just a couple of little elements and you're golden. That's
okay.
Exciting. And it's very appropriate coming up for Easter. Which Easter's in April, I know, but God, my goodness, this timeline. Is it like, because it's already March? It blows my mind. It's already melting.
I know.
What?
The years are just flying by.
Yeah.
Time is just.
It doesn't feel real at all. And
Agreed.
I don't know what to do. I want to surrender. I really just want to surrender. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation because when you run a business, you have to think ahead, and I just don't even know how to keep up. Christine, love, let's see where you're at.
I had an explosion.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Fabulous. I see a whole world and beyond. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love it.
I should do our topology today.
Are you coming?
Well, I wasn't going to, but I may now.
So fabulous work, everyone. I do have an archipology game set at 1 p.m. for today. I'm going to include you in on the link. The thing is I generally have like a dozen people signed up. This is like a monthly first Saturday of every month. And I have received so many messages of I can't attend.
Okay.
So, which is fine. Like nobody has to come. But I'm just I'm like, if you want to keep it up, I'm going to just be rolling out a game. I'm not so good doing those games by myself. They're not as fun. Yeah. So you're totally welcome to join at 1. I'd like to show you a little video just before we head out of when I say making a tool. Okay. Oh, I should have found the video first. Okay. Yeah. Dun, dun. How do I find anything? Truly. Ink is also a great choice for next week. Now, I know you can't erase ink per se, but it's still welcome, So when I say make a tool, I mean, you could just take the flowers themselves
and bring them through.
Yeah.
Like that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. For next week, we are to make a tool. That's our homework.
Yes. To make a tool or bring an unconventional tool to class. And then I'll list the other things like we're definitely going to be focusing on it's not just erasing. When you read the PDF of Jim Dine, I have I want to give you permission to do what feels right for you based off of what this artist is talking about, because it's not just about erasing, even though that's what he did. It's about taking things back. So gesso or an opaque situation is also really good. But with the work of Jim Dine, what I like about it and what's discussed in this article is that there's areas of decisions you can still see, where he put something in and then he took it out, but you can still see it. And there's something beautiful about that, where it's teaching us to embrace our decisions as we work, instead of always having this plan and having it to like happen in a certain way, which is not reality. It's not how things go. We're always adapting, and this is embracing those moments of change and allowing that to be part of the work. So when you choose your reference photos, it's the same thing. If you want to look up a little bit more of his artwork for ideas, fine, but I think it should reflect you. I'm thinking leaves just for large shapes, but something that has, again, like maybe I'll grab one of the draping, viney type plants up from upstairs, or a monstera, something that has interesting shapes that you can work with. And if you're unsure, just hit me up, just text me and ask me what I think, and I will tell you my opinion, which is all it is.
So we're not thinking so much about a portrait this time as a landscape.
Ooh, yeah, this is more of a landscape, this next piece. Okay, that's a great question, thank you. Yeah, like nice to think of it more of a landscape. Yeah, portrait in a landscape, because it could be that you're focused on the bee balm within all of the other things, and that's still okay too, is to have if color, and this is personal, what does inspire you? Like I love contour gestural lines, so the drawing part really is home for me. And big leaves and a big sheet of paper. I mean, that's as simple as bringing it down to, that's as simple as it needs to be. It doesn't need to be any more complex than that.
And when you say charcoal pencils or powder?
I'm gonna say like a stick, pencils,
Okay,
and a
this
stick.
stick.
And
Perfect.
maybe all formats, Laura. Like, come on, just having them there and seeing what you want, what you
At
naturally
the moment.
feel
Okay.
like grabbing. I
Okay.
generally have all of those things
Got
available for myself, because why have one formatted charcoal when you can have it all?
Gotcha.
Same with pastels. Say you have pan pastels and sticks, you could have both out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. So I will draft that up and send that out by tomorrow. And I'll send the Artropology link, and you are welcome to come if you want, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your rainy day.